Welcome to the SCG. An expected top of 23 degrees here today, but we've already eclipsed that and gone to 26. As we look at the Adelaide Crows up against the Sydney Swans, Mickey O'Loughlin in his 200th game leads the boys out onto the ground. Has not played a game of senior footy for 7 months, Mickey O'Loughlin, but today, his 200th game. What a brilliant player he's been, Dwayne Russell.
He certainly has been, and he is one of the best players in the comp when he's going. Great to be here, Derm. This is 4th versus 5th on the AFL ladder, and both teams coming off season-defining victories last week, and looking forward to this one immensely. It is a fine, hot day, 26 degrees at the moment, but perfect conditions. These two teams will both be used to this kind of weather. It's almost Adelaide weather. They're almost the same latitude on the map, so the Adelaide Crows, they won't mind this heat.
Tyson Edwards playing his 200th game today also. Jason Tawney follows him out there playing his 150th. Well, the Adelaide Crows have not won 3 games in a row since season 2003. So, look, they've won only, well, 3 of their last 13 road matches. So that'll be daunting for them to think that coming up against a so informed team such as Sydney.
Yeah, although they do play well here. They've actually beaten Sydney here more times than Sydney have beaten Adelaide. So this doesn't hold any fears for them, this particular ground. I think most of those stats on away trips will be to Melbourne and to Perth.
One of the men looking forward to a challenge like this would be Neil Craig, the coach of the Adelaide Crows. He's with Jason McCartney.
Neil, terrific performance last week. How's the build-up been for this week?
No, it's been good, Jason. It was a good performance. Our form in the 3 weeks has been pretty good. It's just a really important day for us to continue that on.
Yep. And what do you put in place to counteract the Swans if they start getting those numbers behind the ball?
Oh, I know we've had a bit of practice at that, but I mean, that's nothing new. I mean, that's happening in our game now more and more, so it's up to us to adjust to that.
And Kenny McGregor was terrific last week. Does he get first crack at Barry Hall today?
Oh, it depends how they set up. We've got both McGregor and Rutten back there, so we've got some flexibility.
Good luck, Neil. Thank you.
Neil Craig there, Jason McCartney just running along behind him. He must have felt like he was playing again. He's no fuss, is he? If you want to interview him, you've got to keep moving. Let's take a look at the Adelaide lineup now.
And he mentioned McGregor, sensational game on Treadray last week. Whether they put Bassett or McGregor on Barry Hall might depend on how far away from the goal square Barry Hall plays, but it's a pretty good unit, the Adelaide Crows team, in their midfield. When you talk McLeod, Rashudo, Goodwin, Edwards, you're talking about one of the best midfields in the comp, and that's why they get it forward a lot.
No doubt about that. There is Jason Tawney on screen playing his 150th today. Look, telling you a little bit about how the Adelaide Crows play. Scotty Wells leading out for the ball there. He's been very handy for them once again. Inside 50s, the way they bring the ball in, these 3 boys on screen now, Rashudo, Goodwin and Matner, are in the top 10 to round 3 of inside 50s, forward penetrations, and all 3 of them are exceptionally long kickers of the ball. So you know that when they get the ball somewhere around the centre of the ground, they're going to kick it 50 metres plus inside the forward line.
And Matner perhaps coming off the best on ground performance last week against Port Adelaide. I said perhaps because Rashudo won the showdown medal, but Matner was sensational and could well have won it.
Jason Tawney on screen there, as I say, he's 150th. Barry Hall becomes the first player ever in the history of our game to win 2 matches with a kick after the siren. The second one was last week when he took on the Brisbane Lions and got the free kick and popped the goal through to win after the siren. The first time was several years ago when playing for St Kilda, round 22, up against the Hawks, his last game with the Saints, and that, well, deprived Hawthorn of a double chance in the final series. I remember that one very well, Dwayne.
No wonder you do remember it. 156 games, 346 goals, Barry Hall, and he seems to be getting better by the minute. There is the Swans lineup. There is one change. Lewis Roberts-Thompson out of the lineup. David Spriggs, so a small replaces a tall, and they've got Dempster named at centre-half forward. Big task for a bloke playing just his 2nd game.
Mickey O'Loughlin there. Well, Dempster's mainly a winger, but he is a very tall boy. Whether they use him as a decoy, Adam Goods, named during the week at centre-half forward, could press back. Let's have a look at their forward line. Now, the great thing about the value out of their forward line is that better than 1 out of every 2 times they go inside forward 50, they kick a goal. 56% of the time they get a goal from a forward 50. Now, Eamon Buchanan has become a very, very good goal assist player. Nick Davis has kicked 5. O'Loughlin hasn't played, but we know he's a star. And Barry Hall's kicked, well, he's 9 so far this season and just gets roughly 6 shots at goal each week. Well, Tyson Edwards and Michael O'Loughlin both started their careers back in 1995, and fittingly, in season 2005, round 4, they both played their 200th.
Yeah.
day for football here at the SCG, already at 26 degrees. Well, Dwayne, you and I have already bowed and worshipped the great man. Let's welcome him now, Dennis Cometti.
Turn it up, down. Well, thank you very much, just to say. It's nice to be here on what is a very warm day. Now, Adelaide have won the toss, and they're going left to right.
Let's find out how warm it is down at ground level. Good afternoon, Jason McCartney.
Good afternoon, Dermot. Good afternoon to all our viewers. Look, it is pretty warm down here. It's 26 at the moment. That's what they expected the top would be, but I think it'll get a bit warmer. Things to watch out for today will be Paul Roos and his interchange. He uses the interchange more extensively than any other coach in the AFL, using it 61 times per game. Also, key Crow playmakers, Andrew McLeod and I'd say Mark Rasciuto. Watch for them to be closely monitored by Brett Kirk and also Jared Crouch. Robert Thompson is out of the selected Sydney side. He's out with a sore hamstring.
Sunday
Good call,
football.
guys.
Thanks, Jace. Away we go. Jolly thumps it forward. Matner kicks well inside the forward 50 for the Crows. So good last week. This is Crouch. Comes away, looks to midfield, pinpoints the ball. Maxfield, the skipper, penetrating kick well inside the forward 50. McGregor knocked it to ground, spills out good, slipped over. Rutten knocks it away. Here's Hall running away from his own goal, at least initially. We've got a whistle though, and a free kick is coming back to O'Loughlin. Bassett is ropeable. And now 50. He had enough rope. Trudges back. And O'Loughlin. Dream return. Point blank range. My wife could kick it. He's got it.
A&R's new store at Manopara has opened, so help us celebrate and save. 50 blank DVDs, $27.95.
On your 200th, and Michael O'Loughlin, he got 200, and he got a gift from the umpire there. Good way to start. Goal to him from the ball up. Edwards couldn't break free with it. Well tackled was Thompson, and going nowhere. Maxfield made sure of that. 33 years of age now, Stewie Maxfield, and one of the three captains in the AFL never to have won his team's B&F. There's Richie Vandenberg and Kane Johnson from the ball up. Jolly couldn't break free. Still in the middle of a mess of players. Kirk trying to get a toe poke away. Shirley at the bottom of the pack as well. Now Johncock. Handball out somehow. High bomb in the direction of Henschel. Thumped away from him. McLeod, the Superman, around the body. Can't bring it around enough.
Kirk isn't well.
Behind.
Andy McLeod there.
Dempster to bring it in. Saw Kirk try and kick it out of the middle. And I think kicked an opponent's leg. He's moving better now, but he was hobbling when he got up. Barry out of the back pocket to centre half back. This is Bolton.
Wide if he wants to go out there.
Bolton does that. Choice of two on the outer side. Crouch has got it. Now he uses Davis. So good early last week. And again in the last term really made a difference. Hall gathers the bouncing ball. Rutten did well, knocked it across the line. The boundary throw in early going. Opening term. Sydney led it by 5. Everything going on there. Hudson directs it down. Shirley. Edwards. Rasciuto couldn't control it. Now Bolton, Jude Bolton, sets it up towards full forward. Off hands. Here's a chance for Goods. Galloping in and kicks another one. Used the decoy and finished it off himself.
South Australian Adam Goods. In fact, the first game of Aussie rules he ever went to was when he turned up at the Elizabeth Oval to sell hot dogs from the hot dog van, and he liked what he saw from the ball up. No one can break free with it initially, and the umpires found a free kick, and it goes to Rasciuto, who won the showdown medal last week after a game-turning performance against Port Adelaide. Spearing pass, and the ball will come back.
Jolly's hurt.
And are they holding it up because he's in the hands of the trainers, or?
Don't think so.
Oh, look at the Swans already. It's just Jolly coming off. It's given the Swans a chance to get 18 men behind the centre circle here. That looks nasty.
And we haven't seen any injuries since the circle was brought in. From the kick forward, little shifty handball out is good. Finds Riley. He got it from Rutten. He kicks long towards half forward and pulled up clear of Welsh, close to the boundary line. It was touched before it went out of play. And we'll get a ball in with Jolly having a sit down.
Almost a summer's day here in Sydney. You can see the crowd still arriving in the background as Ball pats it down. Shirley could have been held. In fact, it's going the other way, is it? No, it's going to Shirley. He's got it about 35 metres out against Jude Bolton. Clear enough too. Not that. It was initially that hold on the jumper. So Shirley got a couple last week. Not a noted goal scorer, but he was dangerous on the forward line on occasions. Did a very good job, as did most of his teammates last week in that demolition of Port Adelaide. And Adelaide making a better start to the season than most people would have figured. They trail at the moment by 11 points. They'll take a good kick from here. He's about 15 metres in from the boundary, but he should kick it. Oh, yes. Works back left to right. Terrific kick.
Will be used to it. It has been warm in Adelaide. Bounce to restart play. About 26 degrees at the moment, and Bolton of the Jude variety takes it out of the middle. Hall beaten for it this time. Well played, Rutten dished off the handball, and again the Adelaide Crows look lively, although held up initially was Tawney. Goes long, tries to get the kick towards Perry, but he couldn't grab it. In fact, it was Doughty that kicked it forward, and will get a ball up on attacking 50 for Adelaide. About to make a move. Starting on the bench for the Adelaide Crows, Skipworth, Van Berlo, Begley and Biglands. From the burl up. Unable to break free Buchanan, and the boundary line beats them all, and we'll go down to that boundary line. Jason McCartney.
Yes, Wayne, look, Darren Jolly is getting his left ankle assessed as we speak at the moment, so hopefully it's not too serious, and we'll keep you updated with that.
Looked nasty. Boundary throw in, 60 metres out then.
Nick Davis free on the back of the pack here.
Edwards, Shirley, Goodwin slings it out. Matner lays it off. John Cock deftly around a would-be tackler. Little chip down towards half forward. Riley is out number 3 on 1. Got an obliging bounce. And that's a pretty good result for the Crows as Davis drags him across the boundary line.
Now, people look at Nick Davis and they see him kick 4 goals and a half sometimes. There's the Swannies' last 5 games. Picket fence. And they'd say, why doesn't he kick more goals with so much talent? Well, there he is now on screen. Pushes into the back line on occasion to swell the numbers.
Kennelly got it from Bolton to Ball. Chopped down by Welsh. He was slow to get up. It was rather crude. Now the umpire going across. Williams has come to remonstrate. There's no report in this, but watch it again.
He went pretty low though, trying to get underneath the armpit then. I think he's pretty safe.
I think they'll look at that.
They'll look at it, no doubt.
Open hand as well will help.
The Ball clearly distressed, at least initially. Lays it off to Barry.
Until he handballs off.
Kicks it up towards the wing. What's a man supposed to do? Coming in his crowd. Soccer's off the ground. Maxfield runs onto the loose ball. Can go over the top to Buchanan. No goes longer, still down towards the pocket. Indiscriminate kick in the end. Rutten came up to meet it. In goes Bassett's body. O'Keefe beats Hall. Hard man to bring down. Lays it off to Ablett. He's easier. And he's taken down by McGregor. And we'll have a bounce right on the 50.
Well done to Rutten. That's twice he's just thought, no, I'm not going to be intimidated by the presence of Barry Hall. I'm just going to watch the ball in flight and run to it. Second time he's led Big Barry to the ball.
Ball is okay. Got the knockdown. Williams gets around. Hammer to Buchanan. Wants the left foot. Can't get onto it. Kirk just kicks it away. Didn't even have a look where they were. Won't make the range. Good punch, Bassett. Barry Hall takes them all on. Gets it out, hoping for Jude Bolton. He missed it. Davis handballs out. Craig Bolton tucked in. 45 out. Kick smothered by Goodwin. Davis goes in again. Jude Bolton spots a target. That kick smothered by Welsh. Craig Bolton through traffic. Kick grabbed. And what an amazing part of play that was. Doughty gets it to the outer side wing.
Riley in space. Looks towards half forward. Goes towards the pocket. Across comes Perry, but it runs away from him and goes across the boundary line.
And no wonder that they were able to stop that goal. You have a quick look, just count the numbers at the other end for the Crows. They had 14 players within 51, 52 metres of goal there, so it was very heavy with Crows traffic. That's why the Swannies couldn't get a shot away.
Boundary throw in. Ball seems to be okay. Perry in front. He cuffed Perry, did Ball, and now Perry should get a free kick. And there's a man down in front of the umpire. That's Crouch.
Can't injure Crouch. He's uninjurable.
Tell that to him. I think they fell on top of him.
He's a friendly fire.
That's right. Ball is just angry, and whoever gets in his road at the moment is going to cop it. Starts with Perry.
Oh, it's a decent whack too.
That's right.
Left thigh into the rib cage.
Not a good situation for Crouch. Just camped in front of the boundary throw in, and the big fellas come and fall on you. Here's Perry, 52 metres out. Not his best effort, or is it? That's tight. That's not bad. That's good. Adelaide get their second.
Ian Perry's hero as a kid was Stephen Kernahan. And there was a little bit of Kernahan helicopter about the kick.
Wasn't his best, was it? But very effective.
A very good miss.
As Sticks was quite often. Effective if unorthodox. Crows lead by a point. Hudson twists out of trouble, does well, gets the takeaway. Henschel's direction, he couldn't get back in time. Edward starts, caught, shrugs a tackle. Perry might get another crack at them here. Fumbled, gathers. Skipworth tucked into the pocket, centering ball. Welsh one-on-one. Craig Bolton wins out.
Having a good season. To Barry. Takes a while to pick it up. They've got the numbers. Back to Bolton. Bolton runs up towards half-back. Nothing much on offer. Sets it high towards O'Loughlin. Well done by Bassett. Worked in front. Knocked it to his own advantage. And then was cramped for room to get on his left boot. And pops it out of bounds on the full.
Claiming to the umpire, it was touched on the way through. Mickey O'Loughlin comes off the ground.
Comes the short one from O'Keefe to Nix. It may have been touched by his right boot because it was unconvincing, the kick, I've got to say. O'Loughlin off the ground, got that early goal. A fortunate free kick. Here's Nix. Sydney trail by a point at the moment. O'Keefe surrounded. Matner did well. Now Williams. Here's trouble for the Crows. Well done. Johncock ran him down from behind. McGregor against the flow. Doughty gets it away to Matner. Matner drives it up towards the wing. Skipworth behind ball. Played it pretty well. Wouldn't let the big man come back. Now he should win on the ground. Well, a good result for Ball eventually as the ball goes across the boundary line. And will be thrown in.
Skipworth has trailed around Paul Williams for the last few minutes. See if it goes over to him again. Bolton comes near him now.
Ball back into play. Bigland's into the ruck now for Adelaide. Kirk couldn't get it away. Neither can Rashido in the end. Ball nearly ricocheted back to him, and Maxfield takes it out of play on the wing.
Tell you what, how would you like to be Jared Crouch, though, just on this pack that's about to form for the throw-in? Every week he gets an absolute gun. He's got Andy McLeod this week. You know, every week he gets a Nakamanus or a McLeod type player.
Free kick from the contest, and it will go to Ball. Speaking of Crouch, he wore a black armband, as did Ty Kennelly last week. The passing of the Pope. They go to church before games every Sunday, and the games are here at the SCG. Off hands, Shirley got up to Doughty. The mark's been paid though to Tawney, and it'll come back. Tawney will take the free kick for Adelaide, or the mark from defensive 50.
And Ty Kennelly from Southern County Kerry, I think he came from Ireland. If you didn't go to church on the Sunday there, Dwayne, you're in a bit of trouble.
Shirley's in trouble. He was run down by Jude Bolton. A brilliant tackle. And that is one of, well, probably his forte, Jude Bolton. Goes long with the kick in the goods and whole direction, but McGregor, as he did last week against Treadray, rock solid.
Won that battle last week. Helped win the war. McGregor in the bright sunshine of the SCG. That's what's up ahead. Little chip. Good one. Johncock inconvenienced momentarily by the sun. Has this at left half back. Such an important game for both these clubs, coming off good victories. Awkward one there for Thompson. Can he get away? Interesting, the disposal. Bassett tries to soccer it forward. Spills across towards Rutten. It's not coming out though. Locked in there by Nix. Illegally, says the umpire. It's against Nix. Let's go down to Jason.
Yeah, as we saw last week with Mark Prosciutto, halfway through the quarters, comes to interchange for a spell, and his shadow in Brett Kirk followed him straight off.
Same time as well, Jason. 9-minute mark, 9 minutes remaining. He'll come back on for about a 3-4 minute stint at the end of this quarter. Goodwin with the ball.
Got it from Bassett, gives it towards Perry. Bounced off his chest and out of play. And we'll get a ball in just outside attacking 50 for Adelaide. Sydney Swans kicking the first 2 goals of this game. Adelaide the last 2, and they lead by behind.
It's amazing. Both teams are literally playing the same style. Get an extra 1 or 2 onto the half-back line. Not very deep in defence, just the half-back.
Short throw in. Handball down to Skipworth. Ball thumped clear. Chance here. Good little handoff. And Bevan is away. Has a bounce. Thought about it. Went to Crouch in the end. Long high kick towards half forward. Buchanan down there. Off his hands. Tawney loops the handball out for Johncock. He chips the ball wider. Thompson's got it on the outer wing and he's away in space.
Thompson settles now. Kicks well inside the forward 50. Perry works in front, almost the mark too. Loose at the back, picked up well by Matthews. Away to Bolton. Over the top, Kennelly is running. Looks back towards the middle. Bevan took it well. No easy mark. That it was arriving quickly. Oh, Bevan's hand pass certainly didn't arrive quickly. Back to Kennelly. Kennelly to Bevan. Bevan runs forward of the wing, looks inside the forward 50. Coming back is Matner. Takes the mark. Well done, intended for O'Keefe.
And the last 2 times the Swans have gone inside forward 50, the ball carrier running towards their goals. The forwards of the Swans have run away from him, looking for space behind them. You've got to have at least one person meeting the ball carrier.
Matner to the wing. McLeod just assessed it beautifully. Peels away from Crouch, lays it off to Biglands. 70 metres from goal. Goes long towards Perry. Very Perry conscious down there is Barry. Surely he was hanging on. No free kick. Dempster slides in. He's immediately claimed. Ball spills loose. Shirley, as he got the football, didn't have it for long. Williams did well to Matthews. Away to Bolton. Craig Bolton around the outer side. This is Spriggs, a late inclusion.
See, that was so well done by Leo Barry then. He was all out of the game there, but he still managed to effect a spoil.
Spriggs, the ex-Cat, found Goods, who found Nix, who gives it to Williams. They're away here. Hall's on the move. One grab. Free kick, surely.
That's the first time, as I said, for the last 3 entrances inside forward 50, a player has at least made a motion towards the ball carrier. If every forward runs to the same spot, you're in trouble.
Do you count that as an inside 50 if you got the free kick on the line?
Ooh, where was his...
I'll check.
Yeah, contact. Well, he actually made the first touch inside, didn't he? Let's have a look at his ratio here. Since 2002, from this position, just beyond 50, 6 shots. 3 have gone way right.
Thumbs up from the statisticians to an inside 50. There you go.
All right.
This kick to give the Swans back the lead. It's long, it's straight, it's into the padding. Everybody missed it.
Well, Bigland, shouldn't he been penalised then? It was up and down, and the ball cleared his head. He didn't get his arms up and hit the post behind him, the fat bit. John Copp goes in short. Tawney. They'll bring it away. Begley. Back to Tawney. I think it was Downey earlier. Tawney once more. Got it from Shirley. McGregor run down.
No talk.
No, Sydney's ball. Nix descended back in.
Running
Alongside the centre circle. Sends it long down towards Davis. Called out of it by O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin's marked 40 metres out.
Well, I was red hot on that, but Mickey O'Loughlin changed his lead. He ran back to goals and then came up. And geez, he's the first one who, besides Barry Hall, the last one, who definitively has run at the ball carrier. Great tackle. Nix came on for O'Loughlin halfway through this quarter. He had a very good game in the second half last week. Matty Nix.
Tackles so far, Sydney 10, Adelaide 6. Tackling has been good from both clubs. O'Loughlin looking for his second goal of the term. Nice. He's kicked it. Nice work by Sydney.
Roos now playing under Paul Roos. Michael O'Loughlin.
Look how far Prosciutto and Kirk are from the centre circle. They want to get a run up at this, one of them.
Biglands gets the run up against Ball, locked in. Kirk ended up with Prosciutto where the ball was, so they move to the spot at the right time. Edwards gives it back to the umpire and says, do it again, please. Look at that mass of players around the ball.
I told you they both play the same game.
Tea-towel over 20 of them as the ball dumped into the turf. Riley's in there. In fact, I'd be better off naming who's not in there. We'll get another ball up. It'll be easier. Spriggs also getting to his feet, the ex-Cat, who replaced Roberts Thompson in the selected lineup.
21 players in there because the Crows have got an extra man in their back line.
Biglands thumps it down towards half forward. Davis scuttles back, gathers it. Matthews is on. He bypasses him and goes to Hall. Why not? Searching lead from Barry Hall, pushing up the ground. Comes back towards the middle now. Plenty of Swans there. Spriggs lays it off. Clever by Davis. He can run to 55. The kick not good, though. It wanders down towards the pocket. Bassett gets across. Rutten is on for the short one coming out. Takes the mark. Goes over the top to Edwards. Cruising past Rashudo. He can go to Biglands. Rebound opportunity now for the Crows. Biglands takes off. Kicks from 65 down towards full forward. Perry's in front. Juggled attempt at the mark. Knocked away by Barry. Charging in Skipworth over the football Bolton. And the ball is pushed across the boundary line and will be thrown in.
Ian Perry, last two. How important is it to be clean with your hands in a marking contest? His last two contests, he's got great feel on the ball, but he's juggled them, and Leo Barry's been able to effect a spoil. Had he one grabbed that, clearly wasn't being touched or harassed by his opponent when it came.
You mentioned earlier he is a confidence player. Welsh caught by Craig Bolton. Brilliant tackle. Ball knocked free. Spriggs straight down the corridor. Buchanan's got about 4 to beat here. Can't beat them all. Throws away. Riley. Rashudo from 50. That's a long launch from 50. There's that fat bit again.
What asked you, Jason, down on the boundary for a quick kick across the body then? That went about... It would have travelled 50 without hitting the post. Is there a bit of breeze going that way?
Dermot, you are spot on as always. There is a slight breeze favouring that end, so it was Mark Rashudo, as we know, is a very strong kick, but a bit of breeze added to that.
Dempster gets it from Barry.
So they've got a slight assistance with the breeze here. Find themselves adrift by 5 points, the Crows, but they just need to, as I say, keep settled in this first quarter.
Kennelly smothered off the boot by Welsh. Now a chance. McLeod running away from goal. Looks back over the shoulder and misses. Not by much. Good work by Welsh. Adelaide pressing. They're down by 4 points. Under 4 minutes from quarter time. Kennelly bringing it again. Short to Barry. Back to Kennelly.
Yeah, it looked like he said, no, we weren't ready, start again.
Nothing on that side of the ground. Kennelly's got a problem now. Barry comes back to the square. Crowd get a little restless with this. Haven't seen it before, but don't like it. Barry, a couple of bounces running up towards centre half back. Still he goes. Racked with indecision, Barry. Almost dacked as well. Dacked with indecision. Away comes Bevan. Kicks it out towards the wing. Out of bounds on the fall. Well, don't put that in the time capsule.
That had a fair bit of crazy horse about it. That didn't
He actually said in an interview about a year ago, Leo Barry, that he runs like Jeff Thompson bowled, quick, but he's not quite sure where it's going. From the ball in, Kirk. Nice palm down by Jolly. Good to see him back after going off with injury. Hall! Hands not quite strong enough, were they?
Too high.
Okay.
Got a swat over the shoulder here. Well, Big Ben Rutten started very well on Barry Hall. Still doing a reasonable job on him. He's coughed up 2 free kicks. And watch for the second swat. There you go. Left arm of Nathan Bassett. So it wasn't Rutten's indiscretion. Yeah, that's a free.
Well, he would have marked it had not the high contact been made. So either way, it's the right decision. And the Swans a chance after being down for about 10 or so minutes in this opening term. They go in with a lead, close to a couple of goals. Barry Hall hasn't got one yet. Has hit the post. Low trajectory drop, punt, and he sneaks it in.
Robbo, Tomo, John.
Including 5 last week, his best effort against Adelaide, 4 round 15 of last season. Biglands taps it down, intended for Edwards. He goes again. Diving on top of the football in there, I think it's Bevan.
I think you got to look
It is, and he's holding the ball.
You got to look at Barry on the close-up there as well. Dennis, and he had the GPS, the blue tapes around the shoulders. He did 14 Ks last week as a centre forward.
John Cock inside the forward 50. Here's Crouch, headed for the boundary line, gains about 10 metres with a hand pass. It goes out.
That'll be interesting to find out, though. 14 Ks on a normal size ground such as the Gabba. Different dimensions here at the SCG. It'd be interesting at the end of the game during the week to find out just how far Barry runs on his home turf. Different shaped ground, whether he stays closer to goal, whether he does more than 14 or less.
What's that tell us, though, Derm? It's thrown in. Jolly backhands it down. Kirk, we're setting him for the Melbourne Cup. Welsh knocks it inside the forward 50. Skipworth, advantage is paid, goes to McLeod, who kicks the goal. Well done, Crows.
Freo to Adelaide for Chris Groom. And the Crows will be pretty happy with that trade. A lot of people stopped. McLeod and Skipworth kept going. I say play to the whistle, but you shouldn't always. Bounce to restart it. Rashudo through traffic as he loves to. Caught Spriggs. He can't break free. And speaking of running, Spriggs won all the pre-season runs, middle distance, long distance sprints, and yet couldn't get a game in Sydney's round 1 team. So it's not all about running.
Knocked down, but only as far as John Cock. This is Bolton from 60 metres out, though. Sends the Swans deep into the heart of their attacking zone. Bevan couldn't control it. Comes to O'Loughlin, back to Bolton once more. Lines up. That's a good kick. Hit the post. Halfway up.
He kicked it from about 52 as well.
Something going on with the Planets. There was 8 balls hit the post last night in the Port Adelaide Carlton game.
Was it 6 by Carlton, too?
John Cock to himself. Straight down the corridor. 90 seconds remaining to quarter time. And that's a brilliant mark, Ben Hudson. Hands off, Matner. We said just about best on ground of the showdown last week. That is a super launch. Magnificent goal. Ben Hudson's goal. Awesome.
Well, I've made the call before the game, so I know that he, along with Goodwin and Rashudo, inside forward 50 penetrations, they're all top 10 in the league, the 3 of them. You can't get better penetration inside 50 than actually kicking a goal with it as well. He's a monster kick on the run, isn't he? That's inside the centre square and well inside the centre square. And just doesn't trickle through the open goal face. Goes through above anyone who would have put their hands up on the line.
Well, that 22-year-old from Sturt is becoming a very good player. Set the tone for tackles last week, and now getting amongst the goals as well. Bolton dragged down. Jolly to Kirk. Goes out wide. Goods leads in the race. McGregor content to stay off him initially. As he wants the left side, corrals him, but not before he comes back to Kirk. Forward of the wing. Chips intended for Davis. And that's a very good grab. Davis will kick from about 45. Forced him back to the middle, but Kirk was free. And Davis was on the move very early, as that picture indicates.
Dowdy was very good last week, Dennis. Started on Buchanan this first quarter. Buchanan went out to the wing. So Dowdy's moved over onto Nick Davis. And you would think, given a bit of space, Nick Davis is going to give him some problems above the head. Let's have a look at his possibility here. 63% from this position on the ground.
Grew up barracking for Sydney. He's missed everything. The mark is taken in the opposite pocket by Hudson.
The Crows just need to stop turning it over here and haven't got time to score. You wouldn't think. Goodwin out in the direction of Van Burle. They turn it over. The siren beats Spriggs. But the Crows, after it looked like they might go into quarter time down by 10 points, been able to claw their way back to the lead. And at quarter time here in bright sunshine, 26-degree temperatures at the Sydney Cricket Ground. It's Adelaide by a point, 4-3-27. Sydney, 4-2-26.
2-26. Mickey O'Loughlin in his 200th game has 2 goals for the Swans. Barry Hall and Goods singles also, and for the Crows, McLeod, Shirley, Perry and Matner, a long bomb from outside. A goal also there.
Let's go down to Jason McCartney.
Yes, thanks, Dermot. Not much to report on down here. One thing from the Crows, though, they probably have, you picked up earlier in the call, 3 lethal weapons in Goodwin, Rashudo and Matner. If the Swans too start putting numbers behind the ball, their penetration and the length of their kicking could be an advantage for the Crows, that's for sure.
Thank you, Jason. Only the 5 disposals between Goodwin and Rashudo, and I noticed that Neil Craig took Goodwin aside during that quarter-time huddle. Had a good chat to him, and Roo was...
Well, you'd have to say that Rashudo was just looking like Kirk was giving him the irrits at one stage. You could just think, right, he might just explode here and get physical with him. There's the one of the all-time greats, the Adelaide Crows, Andy McLeod there with Neil Craig. Spent a fair bit of the quarter anchored up forward. And once again, he has the serial pest, Jared Crouch, running around after him. He's a very good player, Jared Crouch.
Goes to church every Sunday morning, we were told. That would surprise Jason Ackermanis.
Yeah. I don't know what church Acker worships at, but has it, I guess. Both teams fairly similar on the statistic sheet also. Just the only difference is that the Crows kick the ball a bit longer than the Swans, but entrances inside 50 and the likes, clearances very, very similar, hence a 1-point margin. Done well first quarter. Ben Rutten and Barry Hall probably owned the second half of that first quarter.
Adelaide with a good record here at the SCG. They've won more games here against Sydney than Sydney have won against Adelaide, so it holds no fears for them, and they lead by a point heading into the second term. Jolly got the palm down to Kirk, and he gets the take away. Half forward, Buchanan. Front spot on John Cock. Strong mark. The lead comes from O'Loughlin. It's in his direction. Bassett's with him. O'Loughlin trying to edge him out of the contest. He's taking them both on. And it's across the line in front of Matner. And we'll get a ball in inside 50 for the Sydney Swans.
Ken McGregor's gone to full 14. Perry comes off. McGregor up against Leo Barry in the goal square at the other end, which means that Trent Hetchell has to go to Goods.
Hudson got a hand to it. Kirk went down. Spills to Matner. Floats one up towards the wing. Perry comes hard. Bounces off his chest, though. This is Ablett. Feeds it back. Matthews goes wide as still. Kennelly tracks it close to the boundary line. Did well trying to clear a path for Kirk. Came off a boot. Came off Perry's boot. Free kick to Kirk. Back to Kennelly. Little chip pass, very short, but effective enough. Jude Bolton claimed immediately by Welsh. Crows playing well at the moment. This is Craig Bolton. So often the Boltons combine across the ground. Dempster. Now he's running. He's on the wing in the bright sunshine. Nobody comes to him, at least initially. Now he sends a very high ball inside the forward 50. O'Loughlin at the back. Sock it away as it hit the deck. An involuntary action by Doughty, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be thrown in. A shake of the head by Michael O'Loughlin. Test of strength, almost the one-hander. Well, you set yourself lofty goals when you shake your head when you miss a one-hander. Wouldn't know the feeling myself. It's tossed in, taken by Riley. Doughty at close quarters to Edwards. Edwards up towards the wing. Welsh will get to the ball. It bounces obligingly for him. He wheels around, goes to half forward. Skipworth comes hard, takes the mark full-chested. Plays on immediately. Spots Matner across the ground. Matner decides, I can kick this. And he stops.
How good was Scotty Wilson? He's turning circle just to get around Bolton. Just wrong-footed him completely, and then spear a 50-metre pass, lace out.
Matner already has one. Big chance to kick another from this situation.
You'd love him on the run here in preference over to a set shot, but he's a magnificent kick of the footy.
Matner, but he's third of the season. Well, we got him. He's missed to the right-hand side.
As tennis committee stands on the mark again.
We still like him, but we got him. I do that for social gatherings, parties, stand on the mark. In fact, I do it for darts and handguns as well, but it costs more.
Ty Kennelly to Leo Barry in the back pocket.
They set up down the line here. He's going to have to look to go very short or sideways.
Well, Kirk provides one lead. That's ignored. It's only a short option you can see on the left there. Still a short option, and it's Jude Bolton now to Kirk, who through Matner going to him is free. Back to Bolton. Back to Barry. Back into trouble. McLeod's got him, but he goes to Dempster. Playing just his second game. Sean Dempster goes wide. Davis held up well by Doughty. Wants to play on and go long. Jolly. Ball thumped clear of him. Riley content to take it out of play in the end. And we'll get a ball in.
Let's see how Ben Hudson, he's been improved as a player with this new rucking rule. Doesn't jump high. The sit on Jolly then, but he's barely got off the ground, but he's been very good when he can push and shove.
Shirley comes over the top and thumps it. Back goes Bolton. Oh, put the head down. We'll get a free kick. Well, he put his head in harm's way. Advantage is paid. Kennelly goes to Williams, quiet by his standards, towards Ablett, arriving quickly. John Cock, Riley almost through, dropped it. Williams upended by John Cock. In goes Kirk to be taken high. He'll get the free kick. Williams is gone. Yes.
Popped his shoulder.
That's still out of the socket. Is it still out of the socket, Derm?
I can't tell from this angle, but I know Paul Williams, and I've played footy with him. This is a big tackle. Watch it when he hits the ground. I know he's got a really good pain tolerance, and he is really sore, and he's in big trouble.
He was driven down by John Cock.
I would hazard a guess that that could be a collarbone. He drove him into the ground. He said don't touch it. I reckon that could be a collarbone just taken apart there. That's unfortunate for Paul Williams.
Barry Hall on the lead, and maybe stunned by the loss of a teammate. The ball uncharacteristically bounces off his chest. So Paul Williams, 10 seasons at Collingwood for 189 games, playing 279th game this afternoon.
There was no delayed reaction. He went straight for it.
From the ball up, Rashido on hands and knees is caught. He's got it under him, and the umpire said ball.
And none of the Crows went to him. It was a perfectly legitimate tackle, but Mel Michael might have gone up to him and bumped him on the way off the ground.
Don't start.
Oh, boy, Kirk.
No, but he ran up the white flag then. He was making a beeline straight for the boundary, and he was left alone.
He wasn't running back to position, Derm. He wasn't playing on that wing.
No, he was in trouble if he did run back out the other way.
Spriggs.
That is sad, though.
To line up to give Sydney back the lead. Played 6 minutes, second term. They're down by 2 points. Starts it right, leaves it right, it's all wrong. And only a behind the difference.
Thought I might have got a bigger bite out of you then, Dennis.
No. Mind you, it could have been the beginning of the end then.
Have a look at him. Yeah, he's touched. That's the AC he's done. He's probably separated his AC, which I think every footballer does it in their career at some stage. But that was
Like taking away a Rock Wheeler's bowl of food. That was pushing on that spot at the wrong time.
Here's Tawney in the back pocket. Henschel comes on a lead, marks at centre half back. Important player for Sydney is Paul Williams.
Yep. Hard runner, hard tackler.
Henschel.
That's play on.
Told to play on now. Nothing much has improved upfield, or has it? Rashido offers a lead and juggles the mark close to the boundary line.
We saw him cough up one on the forward flank, on the back flank before, and there was a double take then.
That's a bad kick. Bassett back to Rashido, hugs the boundary line. Perry, long kick inside the forward 50. Welsh is outnumbered. Dempster floats over the top, gets a fist on it, and thumps it defiantly across the boundary.
And this will be a great lesson for people watching. Mark Rashido, we've seen him double grab at a lot of the footy today. But you watch for a bloke whose hands are not working, you watch just how many times he gives himself the opportunity to win it.
Hudson reaches over the top, knocks it down. Taken high was Begley. Will he get a free kick? Yes, the umpire pointing the wrong way. No, what's he doing, the umpire? Begley's going the wrong way. It was a hard knock.
Troy Pennell signal the wrong way there.
Most sports have got a guy they call wrong way something. Umpire Pennell hoping he doesn't become wrong way Pennell. Early days, we can't do that to him. Begley didn't help him.
Begley was just doing as he was told.
That's right. That's obedience. Sit. Begley comes in and kicks a goal. Beauty.
With 30 seconds to go, they need to move the ball quickly. Never.
Plays 27. Hudson to do the ruck work again against Jolly. Hudson appeared to get the palm down. Kirk got the takeaway though. It was more important. Johncock slapped it on the Tawny. Danger here. Bevan caught. Good tackle. Dispossessed. Johncock. Tawny. Barry Hall tried to chase him down. Couldn't get there. Chip kick. Goods gets back. Good contest against Henschel. No.
This
is bad contest against Henschel.
Eyes on the footy, hands on the footy. He's got a case to argue there.
Henschel, short one. Here's Begley. Plays it off immediately. McLeod into Mines, goes back to Begley through the centre square. High ball towards full forward. Coming up Welsh. Well, he wanted it most. A few players hung back. Not Welsh.
There's Goods, eyes on the ball, and the only one to touch it.
Can't do more than that.
No.
That is a tough call.
Yep. Nonetheless, the Crows are playing the better footy here, and the Swans, I wouldn't say they're in danger, but that appears to be a window of opportunity here for the Crows to get what we could even say a mini break.
So Welsh. 35 metres out, directly in front, but he's got it.
Need to win some footy here, the Swans.
Ball in the ruck now against Hudson. It takes it out of the air. Got away with it in the end, but couldn't find a teammate with the knockdown. Maxfield to Goods. He might go it alone. Just got a handball. Ablett, kick around the body. Goal! There's a bit of uncle in that one.
Taking the mark, so it could be a very quick exchange of goals. 3 in the space of a minute and a half if he kicks truly. Perry would be about 35 metres out. Slight angle. Skipworth has been handy. We talked about him last week. Dropped a mark he should have taken, but could have been a few reasons for that. He's responded strongly last week and again this afternoon as Perry misses to the right-hand side. Didn't take much time over it. There's O'Loughlin. Good return for him this afternoon. 2 goals so far.
Dempster entrusted with the kick in from full back. And he signals long. Father-son selection. Been on the list 3 years now. Game number 2. Long kick. Ball's direction. Thump clear of him. Rashudo. He wanted it to be hard. It was a little easy, the collection in the end. Skipworth, Rashudo. Perry, Rashudo. But shepherded by Perry. Allowed Rashudo some time. 2-on-1 from McGregor. Ball thumped down. Bevan. Wrapped up by Edwards. McGregor. Barry. Dempster bumped off it. Well played. In fact, there's a free kick. It'll go to Barry. I think he was held a little longer than the umpire liked.
Gee, they worked very hard, the Adelaide Crows forwards then. And, well, they had less numbers around the ball then. Let's have a look at this. Didn't really want to make connection there.
Meanwhile, back in the game, Dempster, long kick, deep into attack from half-back. Johncock with a problem, bounced away from him, slapped out of there by Begley. Going to ground was Bassett, charging through was Goodwin. In trouble, Rashudo. Gang tackle, taken down. And the umpire will ball it up. Working double time there, the Adelaide Crows.
Started to find a bit of it in the last couple of minutes, though, Mark Rashudo. Didn't even flinch, young Bevan. Just gets him on the back of the shoulder in the end.
Paul. Bassett at close quarters to Dowdy. Henschel got through, heads for the boundary line, and pitches just inside and goes out about 60 metres from Sydney's attacking goal. It was centimetre perfect.
Well, you weren't saying it
No,
anymore.
you were looking at me. I knew it had to come. So boundary throw in. I'm just weaning myself off it because it's pathetic. No, it's not. What am I saying?
There's the whole book in it. What are you talking about?
That's right.
Buchanan couldn't get the kick away, and they might get another ball up just outside attacking 50. 41 plays 33. Last man up, Matthews, hands the ball over. As you can see there, Adelaide's defence pretty good this year. Bigland's in the ruck, but he knocks it down to Kirk. He was heading to the boundary side, but Kirk was waiting for it, and Henschel through traffic nicely. He takes out the driver. He goes for distance, and he hits the fairway. They are away. Matner gets away from Maxfield initially, but he's corralled. Around the body inside 50, Perry. One hand to it, not the second. Craig Bolton the spoil. Crouch. Oh. Now that looked a little high, but the umpire from a different angle said no. And we'll get a ball up just outside attacking 50.
In fairness to Perry, Crouch turned in that direction, but was a bit stiff. There's the bounce. Ball beaten by Biglands. Kirk, to his own advantage, runs onto it. Looping hand pass over the top. Releases Ablett away to Davis. He's been good forward. If the wing goes down towards half forward, Hall battles down there with Rutten and working behind. Jude Bolton takes a tumbler. 55 metres out. He's away. Goes long down towards the kickoff line. O'Keefe flew from behind. Loose at the back. Goods cleverly around one. Was it touched? I don't think so. And Sydney responding to the challenge.
3, but just 4 votes last year for Adam Goods. Margin back to 2 points.
Yeah, I don't think he would have polled a vote after he hurt his knee and came back after. He was a bit limited.
Bad season. Ball kicked off the deck. Bassett socketed back again. Thompson. In fact, Thompson and Bigland's left it for each other. Just too kind in the end. Begley. Doughty. To the open side to Edwards. And he's away. Looks up. Sees the pass options. Rashudo. Bumped off it well by Barry. Stuffed him at the right time. Show of strength. Spriggs. His kick not so good. Tawny's attempt at mark, not so good either. Caught by O'Keefe. Umpire said got the hand away just in time. Bevan around the body, bouncing ball towards half forward. Crows or the boundary line will do them. And we'll get a ball in 50 metres from the Sydney goal. Jason McCartney on the boundary.
Yeah, Dwayne, what's happened now? Mark Rashudo hasn't gone off the ground for his mid-quarter break. He's actually resting at full forward, so he's well matched up by Leo Barry down there.
Boundary throw in. Bigland's in front. Jolly tries to get past him. Biglands knocks it down and goes after it. Finds it close to the boundary. Jolly hot on his heels. Taken higher as Spriggs, who'll get the free kick.
That's the third one we've seen this afternoon. Just a gentle hand that went over the shoulder, but the umpires are paying it too high.
Spriggs to the middle. Kirk just forward of the wing. Looks inside the 50, won't carry the goods. Bounces onto his boot. Comes away towards Bevan. Back to Kirk. Kirk right on the 50. Measures the kick down towards full forward. Hall kept out of the contest. Knocked at goalwood though. Socket off the ground by Goods. Right across the face. Rutten gets back. Hand passes to Matner. Matner in turn to Riley. Running hard as well. Riley thinks about it. Now he goes in that direction. Step for step is Bolton. Oh, that's a good grab. Well done.
Perfect
Bolton
kick.
was there.
What a beautiful kick, though. Didn't make him break stride, and Bolton gave him all the pressure in the world.
He was right there, wasn't he? Step for step, Bolton, but Welsh enjoying his footy at the moment and getting plenty of it. Rather untidy kick, but Tawney makes it look okay. Takes the mark on his chest. Coming off 21 possessions last week. Great return by the former Tiger.
He was on this back flank over here about 30 seconds ago, Tawney competing. So he's run 120 metres to receive this ball.
Not much on long. Biglands offers short. He goes towards Biglands. Don't like the payoff there for them though. Off hands. Hall comes away. Spots Matthews. Jolly is cruising past. Maybe it would have been better for Jolly to mark and give it to Matthews. Matters not. Matthews kicks up towards the wing. 2 Crows here to 1 Swan. Taken behind by Edwards to Matner, who thinks about going. Now he wants to go. Plenty of support to the middle. Downey back to Matner. Across the ground to Rutten.
Looks about 30 metres in front of him. Sees Rashudo on the move. Can't bring the mark down. McLeod. Rashudo's going to get a free here.
Yeah, that's in the back.
Push.
The umpires have been consistent about that. There are 2 hands into the back of the shoulder blades, I think, here of Root. Let's have a look at it. And this is the spoil. One low, one high over the shoulder, but it definitely pushed him and imbalanced him.
Game number 266. Home and away games, that is, for Mark Rashudo, who should break the Crows games record by the season's end. 15 away from that.
Well,
and with Ben Hart still out injured.
43% shooting from this range, Mark Rashudo, unless there's something definitely better for his team in terms of a short pass. You know Roo's not going to die wondering here.
We've ticked into time on second term. We've played 21 minutes.
Holds the ball fairly flat for a drop punt.
They lead by 2 points. The Sydney crowd told the story. Off the boot, it was never a chance and hasn't even scraped in for a score.
At 43% goes south.
Yep.
2 points the margin. Rose on top. They bring it out. This is Kennelly. Got it from Bolton up towards the wing. Clever by Buchanan. Leads back in the race, but closing quickly was McLeod, and he fumbled. And it goes out of bounds. Buchanan cleared a path for himself, but he didn't count on the closing speed of McLeod. Boundary throw in. Look at that bright sky as a backdrop. Cloudless. Biglands knocks it down. Matthews slung. Held too long in the tackle. Going to come back to Matthews. Right on the wing. Poole lead at half-time. Anyone's guess. Under 5 minutes to the break. Matthews across the ground. O'Keefe inside the centre square. Goes for distance. Long. Nicks in from the side. Rutten did pretty well. And the ball across the line for a behind. So a point the difference now.
Gee, Nicks lost Tawney very easily then. If it wasn't for Rutten, Barry Hall actually took Rutten to the goal square. Would have had him done.
Turning into a good defender, Ben Rutten. He kicked goals with his first 3 kicks in AFL football. He's now playing game number 15 and hasn't added to those 3 goals that he kicked. Big fly and a good mark taken by Jolly. Hand off to Matthews. Long to the goal square. Lachlan edged out of it. Was it touch? Or was it a goal? 6-pointer.
I don't think he does touch it.
It's
very close though, but he goes back indicating that he did long before the ball crossed the line.
He was still a chance to get it on the second time, but he already started clapping his hands, saying, I've touched it, I've touched it. A lot of Steve Silvani about that.
Oh, amazing. It's like finding the bones of a T-Rex clutching a 7-iron. Unusual. Away comes Davis, goes down towards half forward. Here's Hall. He's about 60 metres out, back to the middle. Davis has got it again. He'll need counselling, I think, tonight. Bassett. Upset about a number of things. He's in the contest again. He'll be upset if he doesn't get a free.
In the back.
He's got one.
Yes.
It's coming back to Bassett. Not a laughing matter as far as the Crows are concerned, because Sydney are in front.
You would love to call a game where Bassett was playing on Matty Richardson, I've got the feeling, Dennis.
Oh, there'd be a lot of passion, a lot of intrigue, pathos, drama, you name it. Goodwin comes away up towards the wing. Running hard is Bolton. It runs away from him and goes across the line. So approaching half-time. Good game of football. Vital game of football for the aspirations of both these clubs. Sydney lead it by 5 points. A lot to look forward to. Hudson in front of Goods. Neither ruckman touched the ball, taken by Goodwin, who was taken down, and the umpire no alternative but to ball it up.
Neil Craig's always calm, always.
And he rarely loses it. Shows most emotion once the final siren's gone. He did last week.
Certainly did. And in this heat, there will be a lot of interchanges, you would think, from the ball up. We get another ball up.
It makes 15 changes a quarter. Neil Craig has opted for Graham Johncock to be the loose man in defence, give them a bit of pace out of the back line running forward. And Matty Nicks as a half forward, getting picked up by Tawney, then goes to try and tag Johncock. So we've got a 2-on-1 down there.
They virtually had 30 interchanges at this point of the game. Sydney, 29 of them. To Adelaide's 15. Good hand off to Goods. Long kick from the goal square. Jolly, ball up clear of him. Well played by Henschel. And we'll get a ball in.
Two more changes about to be affected by the Swans. Ablett comes off, Buchanan comes off.
Make that 31.
Sorry, goes on.
Interchanges for the half.
Springs off.
Forward pocket. Barry Hall to do the ruck work here against Ben Rutten.
Big pack.
Big push under the ball too. Skipworth gave to Johncock. He's got Begley or Van Berlo. He goes Begley. Van Berlo calls for it longer. In fact, he shepherds in the end. Begley has a couple of bounces. Runs into the space Van Berlo made. Thompson looks up. Hopes for Perry. Ball in the direction of him, but he had Craig Bolton in the way and he made him earn it.
This is Dempster. Couple of bounces to centre-half back. Still he runs.
Got good pace.
Yes. Past the centre circles. Penetrating kick deep into attack. Coming across is Jolly. And close attendance Henschel. Neither touch the football. It bounces out of bounds. Left full forward for the Swans, who are looking better now. Up until about 5 minutes ago, Adelaide looking the better team. Now Sydney superior. Making a run for the half-time lead.
Turns into a bit of circle work on this ground, doesn't it? You take it in one side, if the opposition win it, they take it out the other and go the length of the ground. The same happens again.
Thompson's kick smothered. Davis just misses. Quick reflexes by Nick Davis onto the loose football after a good smother. Forced it loose. John Cock to Bassett. Bassett's away. Goes down towards half forward into the path of McLeod. He ran hard, took the mark. He's about 75 metres from goal. Rashudo moves towards the middle. That's the direction the kick takes. He didn't count there on Goods, though. Able to knock it away, nevertheless, Rashudo. Taken by Skipworth. Hand passes down towards full forward. Perry's got it. Surrounded by Swans. Feeds it out. It's a hot football. Van Berlo went back to Rashudo. Taken by Dempster. Gets it to Kirk over the top. Chance for O'Keefe. Peels off half back. Beats Doughty. Now a chance for the Swans. Long penetrating kick. O'Loughlin behind. That should be a free kick. It is. From the crowd. Happy with that. But for a moment thought they weren't going to get it. And they were thinking back to Goods.
Did very well, though. Graham Johncock. That's just about as good as he could do, but he's held him up, had he not.
Yeah, unlike Goods, though. Johncock not looking back at the footy.
Yeah.
Different set of circumstances. So O'Loughlin a chance to make it 3 before half-time. He'll kick from 55 metres out. This one not beyond him. He'll take his best effort. O'Loughlin. Narrow all the way. Out of bounds on the full.
That match ball, as we said, Dermot, it's not the same as the training ball, is it? It's obviously a different shape. Not quite the same. Begley. And they wouldn't want to turn it over here, Adelaide. Maybe not enough time for them to score. Henschel holds it up and then goes wide. Van Berlo on the wing takes the mark. Maybe. They'd need to get it quickly, but no, time elapses, and with the ball in Nathan Van Berlo's hands, we hear the siren. And at half-time here, we've got an intriguing contest between the 4th and 5th sides on the AFL ladder. It may be Sydney's home game, but Adelaide have got a good record here, and we look forward to a big second half. But with Sydney in front, have the long break, 7-5-47. They're 6 points up on Adelaide, 6-5-41.
The third term, Sunday afternoon football. Sydney lead it by 6, 7-5 to 6-5. One down by Jolly. Matner comes off the line, gathers, kicks out towards left half forward. Johncock comes to mid, it bounces very high, hooked away from him cleverly by Crouch to his own advantage. The hand pass untidy though. Shirley's got it to Matner. His second possession to start the term, and he pinpoints it well. This is Riley.
Cat and mouse at the other end in the Swans forward line. McLeod has gone to pick up O'Keefe. So we'll talk about that in a second after Riley delivers.
Got a few seconds to him. He's taking a while, Riley.
Play on.
Goes to the pocket eventually. Nondescript kick, and Rashudo just pushes it across the line.
Now, O'Keefe is such a damaging player. He's very good at coming up and meeting the ball. And McLeod went to him in the back line. Now McLeod runs up, and O'Keefe's trying to drag him now close to goals, which takes away O'Keefe's ability to meet the ball. He lets McLeod go now, so he drifts up into the midfield.
Hudson almost clean possession there. He was trying for it. The whistle. Crouch at the base of that.
And now McLeod fools everybody, just waltzes through screen on the bottom man, goes into the forward line. He's had 2 Swans run to him now. Well, they're all wondering who's on him.
Jolly, meantime, does some muscling. We've got a whistle, and it's going against him.
Now, big Darren Jolly, Dennis, gives away the most free kicks. Has given away the most free kicks this season in the Swans outfit. He can be clumsy in the ruck work. You find a lot of ruckmen give away free kicks. They're always body on body with each other.
He's not up against Mr. Finesse here.
No.
Hutto. Who can really work as well. That's his guy, just hard work, both of them. That's their stock and trade, and Hudson comes up with the free. 4 goals kicked today from free kicks. Hudson looking to make it number 5. To make the scores level. Hudson from 40 metres out has missed. The behind, so the margin back to 5 points then.
Ty Kennelly entrusted with the kick in.
13-man zone. The Crows were employing against this kick in by Kennelly.
Short to Barry, who's nearly disguised by the shadow in that pocket, now creeping across the SCG. He goes to the open side. No, he doesn't. Fools us all. Back to the shadow. Hoping for Jolly, and strong hands. So from half-back flank, the Adelaide Crow players try and get back quickly. Jolly wants to play on, goes to the middle. Dempster, he left it for Nick, for Davis in the end. Good option. He goes long. O'Keefe got one grab at it. So did Tawney. Goes to ground, gets up again. Has O'Keefe and the ball. And the umpire says holding the ball. O'Keefe not happy. McLeod. Now Thompson. He can run on here on the wing. He's got Bassett. Looping handball. Crunch. Bassett broke free. Got a kick away. High inside 50. John Cock the flyer. Can't bring the ball down. Toe poke off the deck. Is across the face and only behind from Skipworth.
And let's have a look at the O'Keefe free. Does he pull it in? He does. He gets one over the shoulder, though. The way they've been going today, you would think he'd go for the high over the shoulder first. Ty Kennelly, you know he's got his advantage in his ability to run the ball, and he's not a bad kick at all either, but, gee, he had to lay that tackle. He went very soft on the tackle.
He's got it now, as if on cue. He's at right half back. He just bungled it, didn't he? I think his intentions were bad enough, but
now I know you'll hate me saying this, Dennis, but there was even no malice in the tackle when the boy was wide open. You can still legitimately go in and tackle them and make them go, ouch. There was none of that in it.
You hold back, you run at him until he actually takes possession.
Well, there's 2 ways to tackle. You tackle to actually put a bit of pain in them and hurt, or you tackle to contain. He did neither.
Ooh, that hurt. Barry's kick coming out straight to Skipworth. He's on the 50.
And ultimately, if you do hurt them hard enough and they don't get up, you're containing them for the rest of the match.
I think Kennelly was thinking, hurt's a 2-way street. Skipworth directly in front. It'll take a very good kick from here. So he decides not to kick it, thinking Rashudo's a better kick.
That'll fall.
Floats down towards full forward, over the top. Jolly landed on a teammate. That's his forte this afternoon. Taken down is Shirley. Goods got him. Was it too high? No. Play on's the court. Ball doesn't come out. And the umpire eventually will ball it up. Tackle slipped a little bit high, but it started legally enough. Or did it? Front arm maybe came around the throat. Jolly, meantime, knocks it down. Spriggs runs into Kirk, lays it off to Bolton, across to Davis.
He looks up, sees Matthews, gives it to him now, and they might be away through the middle here. Looping handball over the top is good to Dempster. His handball not so good. A mixed Maxfield got Matner. Dempster makes amends to Crouch. He can't find his target. Maxfield caught by 2, and that's a double containment tackle.
There is a bit of overuse in that last 15 seconds. Trying to put your teammate into perfect placement to get a kick away. And all that was required in reality was just get the ball moving out of the danger zone.
Buchanan, Bevan and Ball, the only men that can come back on. Williams, oh, that's a high bump. And the umpire will bring that back, perhaps. No, play on advantage. So the player still down. Matner gives to McLeod. This is his forte from 45. That's what Andrew McLeod does. Adelaide back in town.
It's a tough cookie. He's all looking the other way at that stage, and the body's still pointing almost at the bumper. So
Elbow tucked in, though, from Maxfield.
yep. He ran straight at the ball, didn't deviate to get him. He was still running straight at the ball. He knew he was going to bump, but he's still allowed to run straight at the footy.
McLeod's got 2 goals now, 8 possessions today. Best effort against Sydney, 33, round 12, 2000.
Good umpiring, though, too, as well, Dennis. The umpire called the free kick, that's what it was, and let play on go.
Edwards runs outside the centre square, comes back inside to the opposite side of the ground, if that all makes sense. And now McLeod, one bounce, running down towards half forward, looks inside the forward 50. Thompson, he's taken this mark virtually on the 50, needs to clear the man on the mark, and he does. Pops it to the pocket, and Doughty.
Chase McCartney, looks like Goodwin's coming off now.
Yeah, he's just coming off for a rest. They'll check him out now. And just with Luke Ablett, he comes off as well. He's been shadowing Goodwin. Goodwin only 5 possessions up to this stage of the game. A great effort by Ablett.
Doughty goalless this season. Obviously playing in defence, but has pushed forward on this occasion. He's got nice skills. This shouldn't be beyond him. A very sharp angle. Probably keep it low, and he does, and just misses. It's a good effort from there. So the Crows back in front. It's the sort of game that would puzzle Malcolm McKerris. There are no trends, but it's tight, and it's been good. We're enjoying it.
Is that a trend in itself, though?
Well, I think so. Trendless is a trend. You're quite right. You've got me.
Nix to kick in from full-back.
Bit of Edward De Bono coming into this now.
Speaking of strangeness, Nick said in the player profile this year that he has a recurring dream of being on a large 8-board table running away from oversized balls, which is rather a strange dream for a footballer to have. Work that one out. Kennelly gives it to Spriggs, and he's caught in the tackle. It is a very green field they play on out there, but strange thing to reveal. Outside 50, bounce. Jolly. Can't really get a fly at it. Perry knocked it down. Off the hands, Hudson took possession. Rolled it inside 50. No one could take possession, and we'll get a ball in the pockets. A little lull at the moment, but maybe the calm before the storm. 3 points the margin. Adelaide back in front. They were in front at quarter time by behind, and Sydney by 6 points at half time. Back into play. Perry rips it out of the air over the top. John Cock through for a behind.
Came from nowhere, Perry.
Such a willing footballer, isn't he? Such an earnest worker. Just love to see him succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. You just know that if he was a little bit quicker hand to foot, he could be just, you know, in the next level up and could be a super player. At the moment, as you say, he's very serviceable, beautiful hands above his head, a good target to kick at.
But then he wouldn't be Perry. Here's Kennelly from left half back. Comes out very wide. Matner gathers the bouncing football. He's away. Short one to half forward. Rashudo. He's marked 53 metres out. A spiral maybe.
Open goal.
He's thinking that way. No, he's not. He goes with a drop punt long towards full forward. Going back is Dempster. Good call, Durham. The square was open. Rashudo sensed it. Immediately went for it. Paul Roos coming off a terrific victory last week. All seemed lost, and suddenly they got up. So Neil Craig as well. That game really, after half-time, never in doubt. He had the easier day.
It's been a while since Sydney have won a contest here. Did Nix get a touch on it? Yes. Yeah, it's been a while since the Swannies have won a contest. Be 3 or 4 minutes here.
Boundary throw in. Yes, they're sluggish to start this second half. As we said, warm day, temperature about 23 degrees still. Jolly directs it down. Henschel wrapped up in a tackle immediately and slung down by Goods in a bounce about 35 metres out from goal.
Bevan warming up. also Ball, perhaps come back on for the Swans, and they have been rotating them in this warm weather. Spriggs twists out of trouble to Davis. Got a couple running either side. Matthews one way, Buchanan the other way. They both get used. In fact, they give it back again and fooled him. McLeod ties it up. Turnover. Welsh. Thompson thinks about going inboard, does, with a pass to Riley. He muffs it. Mops up his own mess. Tawney. Now they can load up here. They've got the numbers running. Matner, the long goal in the first half. Perry the target, one grab, not the second. Rashudo uses some leg strength, can't gather it though. Still alive though, ball out of play. And we'll get a ball in forward pocket for the Adelaide Crows, who lead 52-47. We've played 12 minutes. They've got roughly that to come.
Boundary throw in. Hudson works against Jolly. Hudson decisively down to Riley. Missed it on the way down. On his knees, Rashudo. John Cock is claimed by Nix and bulldogged to the ground. Ball up.
With interest, you see in this third quarter, Brett Kirk, who was so good in the second quarter, he's now got Tyson Edwards running around after him.
Hudson goes after his own ball. Emerging with it, Bolton to Kirk. Kirk kicks it up towards the wing. Doughty had the run on the contest, didn't fly. Matner knocked it forward. Dempster running out of space, trying to keep it alive. Boundary throw it in the shadows.
Interesting too that Nick Davis was taken off straight after muffing up that handball receive on the back flank.
Crows by 5 points. Jolly battles Hudson. Matthews taken down by Skipworth. Holding the ball, says the umpire. Well, he was stiff because Skipworth had an arm. There was nothing really Matthews could do, and there's no 50.
So Hayden Skipworth, game number 21.
A lot of space to lead straight at the ball kicker here.
Rashudo leads straight at the ball kicker, and it's just over his head, close to the boundary line. Welsh will try to keep it in. Kennelly kept it in the end. Welsh conceded that he was going to take it out. Spriggs, Craig Bolton, Skipworth, who plays for the opposition, of course. Riley back to the pocket to Welsh, decides not to go on, centres the ball. Thompson, in 2 minds.
When Welsh took that mark, you saw Mark Rashudo put the open palms up towards him and say, "Stop, wait." But he did see Thompson in the corridor all by himself. Watch here. He might catch a glimpse of the route. No, he's just there now. He's still got the hands up. That's too good an opportunity to turn up there to Thompson in the corridor.
Hasn't kicked a goal for Adelaide yet. 39 games for the Demons. Has been a good pickup for the Adelaide Crows. No angle to contend with, and extends the lead with an arrow straight over the goal umpire's hat.
Increase their margin. Interesting. Thompson came back a long way from the man on the mark. You might remember last week. Kicked twice into the man on the mark. Spent a bit of time thinking about that this week with the coaches. Made sure he cleared the man on the mark, Bevan, by a fair margin. And again, it's a Crows ball out of the middle. Skipworth has been influential. Looks down towards half forward. Here comes Perry, our man, and he's taken the mark.
Big Pezza.
Low down. The former Royal from East Perth has this football right on the 50.
I was wondering why you loved him then.
West Perth. If only you knew the history between those two clubs, do.
I just thought Perth.
Oh, okay.
He's a ripping Blake. They had the fortunate opportunity to speak to him. A great fella.
There's a 50% chance from here.
I reckon that's inflating it somewhat.
No, we've done the research, trust me. There's a government grant on that. Here comes Perry.
What did we think about it? They don't give you extra points for making it pretty.
No, she goes down as a 6-pointer, Dwayne.
And that goal has given Adelaide the biggest lead of the game so far. 17-point margin. Biglands flies in the ruck, takes it away in the end, kicks to Rashudo, can't bring the mark down. Kennelly through traffic, handball a little astray, finds Goodwin. He's got his faculties back and he's back on. Craig Bolton can't break free, it's under him. They sometimes like to pay those. He got it out just in time. Ablett, who he spots Buchanan free on the wing, and they are away here with some space. Spearing pass
Goods traps it nicely, breaks free, wobbles it, O'Keefe, open goal! They're on the way back! And they get the goal.
It was the first end.
Yep.
But they're better than a goal every 2 times. They kick a goal. Inside 50, that is.
And on this ground too, which is even more surprising. Going to factor that in. 11 points the difference. Jolly goes up, trying to tap it down, comes back. In fact, it's Ball who's in there. He claims it. The umpire wants it.
There you go, inside 50s this term. Swans 2. They must have sneaked another one while we weren't watching. 2-13.
Our statistician is doing a Nathan Bassett.
He's giving us
shaking
everything.
his head. He can't believe it. Biglan's down towards the forward pocket. Oh, Perry kept it alive. Did it come off Dempster's boot?
Yes. Yes, the
Wow.
umpire's called it.
Which one? The boundary umpire is back closer to us than he was to the decision. The goal umpire,
Troy Pennell.
and the central umpire were on the spot. Anyway, Skipworth's got the football.
Field umpire Troy Pennell called that one.
Dempster is stiff. Skipworth, meantime, more supple. What will he do here? To the outside of the boot, the banana, the check side. Let's call it the check side. South Australia celebrates. Terrific goal.
For everybody at home, with this out of bounds on the full.
It's the footed downstairs. Hits it, no doubt about that.
Lucky.
But was
lucky.
it flicking the
I know.
grass top on the way through?
Who called it, more importantly?
The goal umpire and the field umpire, the boundary umpire, had nothing to do with it.
I don't know.
Wiped his hands clean.
I don't know.
Okay. Ball up in the middle. We won't have to worry in a couple of years because we'll have the third umpire. You will decide, Dennis, in a couple of years whether that's a goal or not.
So the boundary umpire gave us the Sergeant Schultz.
I know.
Nothing.
Kirk from the middle. 70
O'Keefe's
plays
got away.
53. We've ticked into time on third term. Kirk goes long and relatively high, and a good grab on 50 by Davis. Now he may be within range. All
Has
depends on
actually-
that breeze. What's the breeze like down there, Jason?
Look, there's a slight breeze favouring the right of screen, but as we know with Nick Davis, he's a very good kick at goal, so he should travel the distance okay here.
21 goals from his 12 games last year. Lines up. It's got the carry, but not the accuracy. Only a behind.
He's legitimately lining up in the forward line, Nick Davis, but once the ball's bounced,
Has for the majority of this game so far to date.
floated down into the back line and become a loose man player. So even though he does kick goals, a lot of people would say,
Gee, he should kick more with his talent. But you can't kick him if
if you're down 100 metres away at the other end.
McLeod to bring it in then. Very important goal, that last one. A lucky one. McLeod straight up the middle. Pushed in the back was Biglan's, but the mark to stand to Hall. Davis is on for the short pass. Hall can't get back
Crouchy.
quickly enough.
Hasn't seen him.
Hall inside the centre square goes looking for O'Loughlin. A couple of throws up. It falls to O'Loughlin behind the pack. Tried to get it across to O'Keefe. Chopped off by Riley. Well played. To Henshaw. Downey wants it now. Comes to him. Downey at right half back. In the shadow. Running hard is Goodwin. Downey told to play on. Edwards in trouble. Run down. Just got the handball away. Riley in the pincer movement. Buchanan got across, has got the football, tried to go over the shoulder to Davis, missed him. Biglan's, bit of a fumble. The touch of a welder, gets the hand pass away. Tawney has the bounce, runs up to centre half back, kicks to half forward. Nicks from behind, didn't touch the football. Skipworth, another chance for him. Tries to shrug the tackle, couldn't, gives it to Perry. Across to Welsh. Welsh bounces it down towards full forward. John Cox stops it. Well, it was a bit clumsy. It bounces towards the boundary. He emerges with a football and has a shot and misses to the near side.
Graham Johncock does have that cracker-esque ability to, once he hits the ground, to bounce back up so very, very quickly. Gets to his feet exceptionally fast.
Took the most marks of any Adelaide player last year, which is somewhat of a surprise. Short kick. Barry. About to get caught. Gets it away. Kirk. Barry, the 1-2 works perfectly. In fact, the 1-2-3-4 to Ablett, back to Leo Barry. O'Keefe Held up by McLeod. Looks inside 50. Has Jude Bolton if he wants him. Doesn't want him. O'Loughlin calls for it. Hall calls for it. It's over their heads. High. Ball thumped clear. Umpire's found a free. Adelaide.
Yeah, Davis gave a little shove. Shane McInerney on the spot there gave a little shove well before the ball even got there. They just sensed something here, the Swans. They've stepped up a gear. There's that little shove on Tawney.
Tawney to pass it off. Cleared him. Now they've got a problem. Matthews. Well, that was terrible as well. Davis, eventually it comes back to him, but now he's got a problem. 3 players around him. Bevan tries to charge through, went down on one knee, gave it back to Kirk. He was robbed of it. Edwards held it high. He was taken high as well. No free kick. Van Berlo goes in. He's over the football. Matthews over him. There was some bad football from both sides there. Initially, the pass to Bassett, then the hand pass to Matthews.
Can't take it to Nathan Bassett. In space, simple pass, expected, clears the head.
Wide of the pack, Skipworth is taken down, held to him. Crowd want ball. Nothing doing. He's had a good term, Skipworth.
Mark Rashudo still waits at centre-half forward for the Adelaide Crows. 100 metres down to the right of screen.
Almost three-quarter time. Bear in mind what the Swans did last week. They came storming home. They'll have self-belief. O'Keefe to Dempster. Dempster goes up a step down towards ball forward. Henschel goes back and takes the mark on his chest. Well done, young man. Looks out wide, spots it nicely. Tawney's got it. Edwards is on. Goes in that direction. Now will it stay in? No, it won't. Boundary throw in. 2:47 remaining in the third term. 71 plays, 54.
They've thrown their best at them, Adelaide, and the Sydney Swans are lifting a cog now. They've still got the best part of 3-goal break on them. But the Sydney Swans, you feel, have weathered a bit of a storm here. And as you say, Dennis, they know they can come home strong.
Biglands and Jolly go at it. Ablett caught. Umpire says he'll have it. We'll get another bounce. O'Loughlin having a rest. Game number 200 for him this afternoon. Also game number 200 for Tyson Edwards, the 2-time premiership player for the Adelaide Crows. Bounce. Ball slapped in the direction of Ablett. He's got Jude Bolton, gets in with a handball, looks up, sees the pass option. Maxfield will line up at goal to reduce this margin.
Well, you saw there, O'Loughlin off, Maxfield on, and he literally has run straight onto the ground and did not get picked up. He was standing there for only about 10-15 seconds. He's just loitering there. And O'Loughlin's opponent just didn't think to go pick him up. Nathan Bassett, I think it might have been.
Was he loitering or making good position? You've been a bit unkind.
Both.
288 games, his 16th season, Stewie Maxfield. And he has he brought it back to 11 points? You betcha.
By 11 right here, but it was more. The Crows' lead being eroded. Almost three-quarter time. Jolly goes up and slaps it wide. Matthews couldn't control it, but Jude Bolton did. Goes inside the forward 50. Goods juggles the mark. Goods wants to go on. Kicks it long down towards Hall. Hall and Rutten, and that's a clever mark, Barry Hall. The one-hander.
Well, they weathered the storm for the first 15 minutes of this quarter, and Adelaide could only, with all their forward 50 penetrations, could only get to a 17-point lead. That's been brought back to 11, and you would assume Barry Hall, with his ability to kick goals, is going to take it back inside a goal now.
Just get the feeling we're watching two clubs on the rise. They really believe in themselves. Hall ups the ante, or does he? No, he's missed. Missed to the near side. Poor effort. That would have made it very interesting. 10 points the difference. 55 seconds remaining until three-quarter time.
John got to kick in. Needs to be a good one. Inside a minute. Wouldn't want to turn this over now. They did lead by 17 points about 7 minutes ago.
You'd imagine he's got to go very short to a surety receive or long outside 50.
Oh, Skipworth, the ball a little wide for him, and he gathers. He's about to get gathered. Spears the pass, hoping for Henschel. Trapped by Jude Bolton, and he gets a free. Maybe a chance for a late score here.
Aidan Kennedy on the spot.
Yep.
So one last chance here for the Swans. It's a long high kick. Goods has got to run at it. Got it! So Adam Goods, with perhaps the last kick of the third term, front spot.
Just a bit body conscious there, Ben Rutten, rather than running at the footy like he has been all day. A direct run at the footy. Just outside of the true corridor, Adam Goods.
Put himself in position A, took the grab. Can he bring it back to 4 points? No.
Gee.
Well, Dwayne and Dennis.
At the 15-minute mark, we had the Swans two inside 50s to Adelaide's 13. And in the last 8 minutes, it's been 8 of the last 9 inside 50s for the Swans. So they certainly have turned the tables here with the ball-winning ability.
Almost a trend, Dermot.
Yes.
Rutten takes the mark to end the term. 3/4 time at the SCG. And we're set for a big finish. It's the Crows 10-11, surging first 20 minutes of that quarter. But the Swans, to their credit, came back at them very hard. Adelaide 71, Sydney 62.
In bright sunshine here, it was an even first term. Adam Goods making the most of his opportunity to get Sydney on the board from the goal line. And then Martin Matner. Beautiful handoff. Matner on the run. And the Sydney Swans on their home turf on the run. Adelaide by a point at quarter time. And then a big crunching tackle on Paul Williams early in the second term. Saw him out of action. Welsh just pulled his punches at the right time. And Ben Matthews loaded up from 60 metres out. Bassett, well, he claimed he got a touch on it. But the goal umpire would have none of it. And in the third term, Andrew McLeod did what he does so well. Scorching goal after a beautiful run from him, and then Adam Goods. Superb pickup. Rolled it to Ryan O'Keefe. He slotted one home, and not sure decision here. It was called out of bounds on the full. Skipworth, the boomerang. Sensational goal. And at 3/4 time here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, it's the Adelaide Crows 10-11-71. Sydney Swans 9-8-62.
Last week, the Swans found themselves down by 32 points at 3/4 time and still got up to beat the Lions. This time around, they're 9 points down. Can they do it against the Adelaide Crows? What do you think, Jason McCartney?
Come down to fresh legs as it did last week. The Swans have made 42 interchanges compared to the Adelaide Crows 25. Crows look like they're down to 3 interchanges as well, with Ken McGregor, who's been off for the last quarter and a half. He looks to be labouring with a left quad injury. So time will tell, Dermot.
Thanks very much, Jason. A couple of other games going on while we speak. St Kilda and Melbourne, and Richmond taking on Fremantle. If you don't want to know those scores, look away now. All is set here for a cracking last quarter here. It is the Adelaide Crows on the road by 9 points.
The breeze not a factor. What there is just wafting to the right of screen. Adelaide going right to left. Sunday football in the warmth in Sydney. Rucks go at it. Biglands maybe. Fell at their feet really. Shirley tries to dig it out. Missing it was Goodwin. Ablett with courage over the football. And the umpire calls for it. Centre clearance is so important today. The side that has done best in there has really gone a long way to getting on top. For 10-15 minutes we saw that with Adelaide to start that third term. Matner's hand pass. Doughty gets through. Lays it off to the man pushing up the ground, Tawney. White is still to Riley. Riley goes to half forward on the chest of Rashudo. And that was a good grab. That ball was arriving quickly and hard. And Rashudo equally hard in the opposite direction. 55 metres out. Heads for home. Long Gunnerwoods fall forward. And Perry has taken the mark 15 metres out.
never looked like anybody else getting to the drop of that ball except for Ian Perry there. He ran back quicker than his opponent, saw the flight of the ball. Leo Barry caught, I wouldn't say, he's not napping, but he's actually watching his opponent rather than the ball. Now, that ball did drop pretty steeply, though, as it reached Perry.
He's kicking from 20 metres. The perfect start for the final term. He squeezes it home. His third goal.
Supported by that Ian Perry goal, but not the Adelaide fans. 15-point lead now to the Crows. Biglan's to do the ruck work against Paul. Biglan's knocked it down, but to Davis. Tawney waits under this, doesn't take it. Goods taps it to O'Keefe, lines it up for the instant reply, kicks around the body, doesn't bring it around enough. Only behind.
With interest, you can look at the way the two teams set up at the centre bounce, I mean the respective forward lines. Adelaide go their 6 forwards on a direct line between centre half forward and the goal square. They all hug the spine, and Sydney just spread eagle, scatter them all over the place.
McLeod to himself, runs off. Couple of bounces.
Batcher's quick though.
He's covered some ground. McLeod goes to half back, goes out wide to Biglan's. He's taken the mark. Sydney have missed some opportunities late in that previous term, and again that one just moments ago. Biglan's 7 marks, close to the boundary, plays on. Continues around the boundary, only to see Nix take a very good defensive mark. It's coming back towards Biglan's, well, just short of him. The man who was standing his mark, Jolly, has claimed this one, midway between left half back and left centre wing. Getting plenty of advice from the crowd, who haven't been thrilled with the way the Swans have played their football this afternoon. You just sense that. Bassett misses the mark. It rebounds across to a teammate, though, in Rutten. He clears the zone. High up and under towards half forward. Jolly goes up, hands to it. Didn't complete the mark. John Cock did well in a tight situation away to Welsh. Sharp angle, goes for the kick-off line, running back with a flight of it, Barry. That was a clever mark. Barry wasting no time. Should have taken more time. It's out of bounds on the full. Right there. So, Riley thought about going to Skipworth, who was on. Eventually comes back to Thompson outside the 50. Thompson goes for home. Long kick, there is again. Perry juggles the mark this time. A couple of metres out, but the angle will be severe, I would think.
Well, you think of the last one, Dennis, he kicked it, he's a left footer, he kicked it with the outside of his foot, but the angle was more open, so it's going to really narrow it down. That'll play on his mind as he approaches.
He was saved by the juggle here because he's juggled it away from goal, and the angle is better than where he started. In he comes, gets his 4th. This could be a match-winning performance. Ian Perry.
Ian Perry, 4 goals this afternoon. He's a goal-a-game goal kicker. I know that because he's got 73 from 73 matches. Ball up in the middle. Jude Bolton. And some inspiration now, the Sydney Swans. Kennelly. O'Keefe. Looks up. Hasn't got a lot. Goes high. Hauls down there and marks it.
I was about to say, it's 20 points to margin now, and they still might kick another 1 or 2.
Yes.
The Adelaide Crows.
This is a good decision, excuse me, Dan. Umpire Kennedy saw some holding on to Bassett, so eventually he's had his day. A moment in the sun.
At the right time too, Dennis. The Swannies in the second half of this last quarter will come home strong. You know that.
Bassett to Thompson to the outer side. Good spoil by Bevan. And goes and gets his own work. Matthews, corralled by Matner. Goods, can he keep it alive? No, and we will get a ball in. So the biggest lead of the game so far to the Adelaide Crows, 20 points, and Barry Hall.
There's the hold
Is
on.
it a hold or a push?
It's now to hold the jumper stretch. It's already been given well before that.
Otherwise, he may have got to the contest. Courageous decision, the right one from Hayden Kennedy. Goods. Couldn't control it. Goodwin did nicely. Got it away to Riley, who was taken high, and he'll get the free kick.
Not downfield.
So Sydney have really got to find something here. They trail by 20 points. Still plenty of time. Certainly based on yesterday. Last week. They are not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. Doughty comes to Shirley. Back to McLeod. McLeod on the wing. Goes to half forward, where the mark is taken by Welsh.
He's been good since he's moved out to half forward today.
Yes, provided a target, certainly a willing one. Long towards full forward. This time Barry prevails. Favored by the kick.
He's got O'Keefe open. Hits him with a pass and O'Keefe can run. Long high ball. Ablett's got some ground to make up. Goodwin's with him. And that's not a bad result for Goodwin. We'll get a ball in.
Just need to take some body blows here, the Sydney Swans, and reload for the last 6, 7 or 8 minutes. Last week, as we said, back from the dead, 32 points down at three-quarter time.
It ain't over till it's over. And it was after the siren that they won that game after being down the whole game. Riley to the wing. And the ball wobbles towards the boundary. And we'll get a ball in. Matthews there on screen couldn't keep it alive. So Bassett now moved to O'Loughlin, and they are the two playing out of the goal square. Hicks and Johncock the other match up inside 50. Good handoff by Bolton to Adelaide. What was it towards Goods? Got the tap down on Henschel. Well crumb by Henschel. Kept his body well positioned against Goods. Goes long under it. Big fly over the top. Nice mark from Goodwin.
I think he might have hurt his rump then when he landed. Didn't land on his feet.
He's lifted since half-time. Goodwin, forward of the wing, kicks inside the 50.
Kick.
Perry comes on the lead, chopped off by Nix, couldn't complete the mark though. They're under pressure. Barry gets a hand pass away. Breaking out of defence, Davis to Maxfield, across to Bevan. A runner outside, they're dangerous now. Kennelly storming through the middle of the SCG, 60 metres from goal, goes long. It's a telling kick just out to the right. Misses by less than a metre.
It's a sign, though, Dennis, there's still plenty of run in this half-back line of the Sydney Swans.
Yes. They love that situation, don't they? All pushing up virtually a line across the ground. Here's Riley, like his game. The longer it's gone, the better he's played. Riley off his step. Play on's the call. Don't know why. Edwards in trouble. Taken by Bolton. Oh, a great tackle by Bassett. Jarred the ball loose. Riley goes to Tawney. Now they're on the outer side of the ground. Rutten Thompson is metres in the clear. It comes to Shirley. Thompson is unchecked. It's a question of accuracy. He can turn around and head for home. 48 metres out. He's kicked a goal. His second. What a beauty.
The Adelaide Crows got that goal. A little flip over the top here, and the Swans had a goal, but Bassett's tackle stopped Jude Bolton's handball, and they took it away. And it comes down to those things at this point of a game when it's tight. Bolton takes it out of the middle. They have still got breath, the Swans. Hole! Just inside 50, it's going to be a tough kick. Although, as Jason McCartney said, there's not much breeze to contend with.
Just on that, Jace, will the angle be opened up for him? Is the wind going to go from his left shoulder through the right?
Yes, it should be, Dermot. I wouldn't be surprised if he creeps around a bit and opens the angle up, shot on goal himself as he comes inside that into the field of play as well.
Big kick this for Barry Hall. Only one goal so far this afternoon. Can he bring it back? Breeze, light as a thief, and they could still steal it, the Swans.
Heard about Kev? Yeah.
He's now the best and fairest two this afternoon. That one, a real timely one. It keeps them in the contest. The margin at 19. Ample time remaining. Rucks go at it. Jolly over the top, left highest. In goes Goodwin. He's taken down by Kirk. And the ball stays in there between the pair. Another bounce.
Adelaide are so good at the bounce down and taking it away. But they had, basically, you would have to say their B-grade team in there had Riley, Skipworth, and I think it was Doughty in there as well. There was no Edwards, no Rashudo, no Goodwin.
Kirk goes to ground. Riley over the top of him. Shirley a half chance. Bolton works hard. Well done. Thompson feeds it back. Goodwin smothered off the boot by Bevan. Players of both sides making some big efforts now. Jarred across towards Buchanan. Buchanan finds Bevan. A couple of the lesser lights work it forward. O'Keefe on the wing for Sydney.
They're coming now.
O'Keefe sends it inside the forward 50. Hall is there over the top. Bassett. Thumps it out of bounds as we go now to Jason McCartney.
Yeah, just an update on Paul Williams' injury. We've been told he will miss at least 6 to 8 weeks. Similar injury to St Kilda skipper in Nick Revolt.
Unfortunate. Nick Davis brought his opponent Bassett to the Hall contest, and otherwise Hall had done Rutten for the mark.
Jolly had no one to contend with in the ruck, but McLeod, after it went through legs, chips it wide and Rutten is away. Hall didn't really chase him, hoping for the turnover. Chip kick, good. Edwards in game number 200, takes it on the wing.
He's away still, Rutten.
Chip over the top, and he is still away because Hall didn't chase him. Can send it inside 50. Perry's been the man. Can't mark this one. Got edged out of it. John Cock picks up. Tackled, dispossessed. Bevan picks up. Tackled, dispossessed.
Always
and
paid.
may get a free. He will. But lucky.
Yes.
Paul Bevan will take it between fullback and centre halfback.
Well, they've got numbers here to run forward with it, the Swans.
Maxfield plays on to Buchanan, confronted by Skipworth, has an early bounce, just got it to Bolton. Bolton inside the centre circle.
Runs forward.
Well, some hesitation. Now he gives it off to Matthews. Matthews kicks inside the forward 50. Crouch. He's taken the mark. Right on the 50, goes to O'Keefe, who's a long kick. This one hangs in the air, down towards Hall, coming hard, Dowdy. Nobody touched it. It's a goal to O'Keefe.
What if you found out your new boss was half your age?
Here at the SCG, and they're chanting the Swans. They're chanting Sydney. Ball's in the middle.
Same starting four in the centre again for the Crows.
Hudson's against him. A couple miss it. Henschel. Oh, that's a free. Adam Goods. He didn't have it. And is that 50?
Oh, it should be.
Kirk sent it forward. The umpire gives Kirk the benefit of the doubt.
Now have a look here. Just a little bit closer out to our wing, we've got Ben Hudson. He just creeps out towards us because he wants to drag ball away from the other zone. So they should try and use Hudson. Try and use him to drag ball away. That's what they do now. Now ball's ahead of this kick.
So Henschel to Hudson, long, hoping
he's
for
pulled a hammy.
Thompson.
He's pulled a hammy.
And that's a mark.
Just have a look at big Hall ball there. I'm confused with balls and halls. He pulled a hammy when trying to get to that marking contest, and he's just shuffling to the boundary.
I'm glad you got that right. So it'll be Thompson to line up at goal here. It's a it's a 3-kick lead to Adelaide at the moment. They lead by 13 points. We've played 15 minutes, final term.
18 Crows. Sorry, 18 Swans players. Within, all of them inside defensive 50 now.
Well, he's kicked 2 goals this afternoon, Scott Thompson, so he might be confident. Lines it up. It's across the face. Chance for the leapers. Stump through. Edwards missed it on the line. Ball still alive. John Cock comes hard. He's got 3 to beat. Can't beat them all. Davis. Maxfield. Looks up. He's got Craig Bolton. He looks up. He's got no one to go to. Run into Riley because of it. Free kick's probably not a bad option. No. They get a chance to set it up.
Get a chance for a reload and get some players ahead of him now. They can go side on.
He goes across the ground. All they needed was the banner after the free kick was awarded. They're all running down that into the ground, the Swans. Matthews has got it. Goes to Buchanan. Buchanan left half forward. Spears the pass in for Hall. And despite the fact he was in the pincer movement, 3 Adelaide players around him. He's taken this mark right on the 55 metres in from the boundary. Barry Hall should get the distance. 13 points the margin. A game so often of centimetres. We've said it so many times. Edwards at the other end just missed it. That loose ball as he tried to hack it out of midair. And now Hall at the opposite end from 55. Gives it a ride. Hack on the line. Jolly's over the line. That's a behind. Swans creep closer. Bad luck for Ball. A hamstring.
Swans have Melbourne at the SCG here next week on Saturday night. Adelaide come up against the Western Bulldogs at Telstra Dome.
Riley gives it back to McLeod, arches the back, runs through half-back, kicks towards half-forward, bounces in that direction, taken by Edwards, wheels around, no pressure on him, kicks inside the 50, where's Perry, coming up, not in time, Nick simply stood his ground, took the defensive mark, swings it wide. Now a chance, Spriggs. Spriggs looks to 50, kicks inside that marker. Knocked away down there by Jolly from the man in front, Hudson, but crumbed by Henschel. Spots Riley, didn't get there though. Spriggs came across on the angle and played it well, knocked it out of bounds. And they will regroup, or is it reload now for the Sydney Swans as they're making their run at the Adelaide Crows?
Two straight kicks off it.
Mentioned during the call earlier that Spriggs, he set new fitness standards during pre-season for the Swans. Didn't get a game in round one, but hot conditions here, and he is still full of run from the ball in. Free kick to Jude Bolton. So it'll be Jude Bolton's ball on the wing if he can kick it. But to have a touch of cramp. 2 kicks the margin. Gives it to Maxfield. We've played 18 minutes. Long load up from him. O'Loughlin's got 4 to beat. Can't beat them all yet. Ball comes out to Rutten. McLeod getting back to help the defenders. Has Doughty. Can he hit him? He does. And Doughty can be away here. Mops up his mess. Rutten. He looks up. Not a lot to go to.
Perry
has a bounce. Now Perry makes the move for him. Barry's with him. Edged him under the contest. Matthews, boundary line, the sanctuary. John Cobb, he can't roll it home from there, surely. It's a behind, but as they say in the classics, maybe a handy one. 13 points, the margin again.
Gee, that was good by Perry.
Yeah,
he was caught under the ball, even before the tackle, which was exception. Caught under the ball, knew that Leo Barry had the jump on him. He thrust back into him to take away his jump. Created the spill, and thereafter he laid the tackle. Super work, Ian Perry.
Maxfield virtually straight down the middle. And the mark is taken by Goods, who plays on immediately. Chips towards half forward. McLeod will need to go. Did pretty well in a tight situation. Shirley robes the pack. Adelaide meeting the challenge, at least for the moment. Goes wider still. Rashudo wants Shirley to run on. Now decides he will kick it. Inside the forward 50. Thompson up against 3 Swans. Perry gets a hand pass to Skipworth. Back to Thompson. Kicks it very high in the air. Welsh, was he taken out?
Not watching the ball.
I think so. Welsh will get the free, and the SCG crowd, the faithful for the Swans, erupt.
That is the correct decision there. What Leo Barry actually did was look for the man, made contact, and then when he got contact, then he looks up at the ball and tries to disguise it. It is a great decision. It's a brave decision by Troy Pennell, but it is the correct one.
It's not often you get an eruption on cue. We got that. Here's Welsh. 20 metres out, comes in and slots it. The task is big for the Swans now. 6 minutes to go.
Perhaps the most important goal of the season so far for Adelaide.
Rashudo on the ball now.
Played 21 minutes. Kirk gets the kick towards half forward. Spriggs leads in the race for it. McLeod eased him under it. Legally, according to the umpire. Swans fans not happy. But Andrew McLeod, the general, almost playing as a quarterback at the moment. He's sitting back loose at half-back, generating the play. O'Keefe, he stole it back again, sends it long. O'Loughlin, goal square. Ball too long. And a behind.
See, you saw that kick come from inside the centre square. Then you think this is going to be a real risky shot, but in reality, it's 51, 52 metres.
18 points the margin. Bassett covers some distance to Rashudo. He's at right half-back. Look at Shirley run. Good to see late in the game. Pushes up to the wing. Claims it. And now Van Berlo is off. That's ignored, but he cleared some space back towards the middle. The kick a little untidy. Doughty needs to go. Beat one. Heard the call. Goes back to Edwards. Edwards slots it. John Cock on the lead, with a chance maybe to sew it up right here.
Yep, that's a great call. You'd think if he can pop this through, that could be the game. You could actually even load up a little bit in your back line then to make sure the Swans cannot score against you, should he put this through.
And that was great by Robert Shirley. It's late in the day, it's been a hot day, but he made himself run to the far wing. You could see it was hurting every step of the journey. That exposed Doughty in the middle, and it's finished up with this man, Graham Johncock, who can kick it away. Should get the distance. Steps to the 50. Long kick, telling kick. That could be the ball game. Adelaide could be 3-1.
Adelaide Crows lead, and Swans fans, well, they probably know their football. It's a hard task from here.
What's the Lee Matthews equation? When you need to kick more goals than there is minutes left on the time clock, you know you're in trouble, or that's when the game's over.
Exactly. Hudson to Edwards trying to confirm this victory if they get another score here at least. Nix overran it slightly. Crouch, hands and knees. And they might hold it in here because time is Adelaide's friend at the moment, as is the scoreboard. 4 minutes remaining to full time, and this would be a magnificent start for the season for the Adelaide Crows and their new coach, Neil Craig.
Outstanding performance. The signs were there last week. Crashing in Matner as he pushed in the back. No free. Ball stays in there, and it's holding it. Sydney to get the free kick, but time the enemy now. We're down to 3:40. Crouch has it across half back. It comes out wide to be taken by Ablett. Ablett looks inside the forward 50, goes long. They need a mark and a goal quickly. Well, the next best thing, a goal from this perhaps, as Davis centres it. Buchanan couldn't hang on. Rashudo steadfastly back there to Tawney. Tawney comes wide to Welsh. Did he mark it? No, a half volley. Play on's the call. Escaping with the football, Buchanan goes back towards Jude Bolton. Bevan's got it now, feeds it to Ablett. Ablett just forward of the wing, back inside the forward 50. Bassett is down there, and fitting he's taken the mark. His belief in life has been restored. Nathan Bassett's got this football 20 metres out from goal.
You willed him to catch that one.
I did. Good to see the nice guys have a win. There's Matner, got it from Rashudo to Tawney. Tawney chips it towards half forward. Missed by Goodwin. Got the recovery. Surrounded by Swans on one knee. Got it to Tawney.
They won the 2-on-3 there, the Adelaide boys.
Skipworth liked his game this afternoon. How many possessions have we got for Skipworth? He's had 18. Thompson on the boundary. Don't tell me.
He hasn't.
They are 3-1. He's got 3 goals. That is the icing on the
ball both ways through the air, and Scott Thompson did just that.
Oh, the umpy's bouncing it for them now.
Ball knocked down to Kirk from Jolly. Sends it high inside 50. O'Keefe back of the pack. Bassett been sensational this afternoon. Henschel gives the handball off to Tawney. They're going back to the goal square. The rush behind is as good as anything for them right now, but they won't even give the Swans that. Doughty sends it long and wide at the outer side, and the mark taken by Ben Rutten. Inside 2 minutes to an Adelaide celebration. Shirley runs free on the wing, chips the ball, hoping for Riley. Bevans with him. Riley can't keep it alive. And with 96 seconds left on the clock, Paul Roos, ever calm, but will be a disappointed man this evening. Sydney's next 4 rounds, well, a big one next week. In fact, a big one the week after as well.
Tossed in on the outer side. Jolly is after his own ball. Kirk out of the congestion up towards the wing. They're away here. This is Kennelly. Runs to the 50. Sets it up long towards full forward. Coming across Hall. Fingertips to it. Couldn't hang on. O'Keefe pleads his case to Hall. Maybe he did call because he was lurking behind, and the ball was attempted to be marked by Hall regardless of that call, if in fact there was one. Work that out. But each way, Doughty goes out wide. This is Skipworth. I'm not sure I had Adelaide in my final 8, even when I was talking to Adelaide on the radio. Ball goes out wide. Rashudo's got it. I generally have a composite 8 winners over the course of a weekend. It just depends which states. There's the ball, the good one in the pocket. But I'm sure I left them out everywhere. I'm going to reassess that on the flight home over Adelaide, the home of the Hilltop Hoods. Here's Goodwin in the pocket.
Who are they?
Juddy's favourite Aussie, what are they? Aussie hip-hop band, that's what they are.
Oh.
Yes.
Somehow we're calling Adelaide and Sydney, and you still managed to get Juddy in there.
Well, there goes Goodwin's kick. But don't tell me. They're putting on a clinic.
Well, Simon Goodwin hasn't enjoyed the best of afternoons. Luke Ablett has done a superb job on him, but he's got better as the game wore on. Copped a big bump from
Maxfield during the course of the match. And that's like lining up on the 18th after a shocking day of golf and you whack one down the centre and par the 18th. It makes you come back with spirit next time.
Injured last year and missed 12 games because of those injuries, but looks like he's going to have a good season. Started well, Simon Goodwin. And so are the Crows. There'll be 3 wins and 1 loss in 18 seconds from now. Skipworth. One last touch for him to McLeod. He gives to Riley. He can put some icing on this cake. Long launch and goal. It's a double layer of icing.
18 goals, big return, boys. That is a big return in a game of footy. I would hazard a guess they'd be around the mid-50s for inside 50s. And 18 goals from that is a wonderful return. They have been lacklustre in the last 3 centre bounces, the Swans, when they knew it was all beyond them.
It's almost a rout, dude. It's almost a rout.
It's just a clean out.
Well, you mentioned Adelaide against the West Coast Eagles. I mean, the fact of the matter was that day they kicked only 7 goals. I mean, this is completely different. They've got 18 today, and they're kicking them from everywhere.
Inside 50s, Adelaide 56, Sydney 52. 56
is on the siren. Hudson gets the last kick. What about this? Another upset. Been plenty of them this round. And Adelaide confounding the critics as Neil Craig comes down. 3.5 seasons as the assistant under Gary Ayres. Now very much his own team. And they're doing remarkably well. Their record is 3 wins from 4 starts. And that was a narrow loss, as we said, against the West Coast Eagles. 18-12, a runaway final term over Sydney 11-13. Sydney just the 2 goals in the last quarter, and Adelaide 8. An 8-goal final term from a team that doesn't kick a lot of goals, or historically in recent seasons has not. Nathan Bassett, you beauty. Let's go down to Jason.
Tyson Edwards, congratulations, 200 games. What a way to celebrate it.
Yeah, mate, that was great. It's great to come over here. You know, it's either if we won today, it was 3-1. If we lost, it's 2-2. It makes it a bit harder, but it was a great effort today. We probably didn't play great until that last quarter, but no, it was a great win.
And the contribution from all players involved, there wasn't the huge reliance on the 4 senior leaders?
No, that's right. If we're going to play well, we need all our guys, you know, chipping in, and that's how we did it last week, and today it was that again, so it was fantastic.
An extremely important game after a great performance last week as well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that was our best game last week for a few years, and you know, really happy with that. And we wanted to back it up again today and continue that good form. And probably didn't play quite as well, but still to come over here and win against Sydney, who had a fantastic win last week. It was just magnificent.
Well done, mate. Go and enjoy it.
Thanks, Nuts. Thanks, mate.
Thank you very much, Jason McCartney. The 200 gamer there, Tyson Edwards, only the 6th Crow to reach that figure, and he comes away on this occasion with a win. A 7-goal win, Dwayne. If you had turned up here today saying the Crows win by 7, you would have got fairly good odds for that.
Well, fitness analysis is Neil Craig's specialty, and they ran this game out in the heat, and they ran it out magnificently. 8 goals in the final term, and they had Sydney on the ropes chasing the whole quarter, and this is a magnificent start for a new coach's career.
A 41-point win here to the Adelaide Crows on the road. Sydney 11-13, 79, defeated by the Adelaide Crows 18-12, 120. Tyson Edwards victorious in his 200th game with the Adelaide Crows. They got up by 41 points, the Crows. There's a man who knows all about victory. Leighton Hewitt congratulating the Crows there on their victory today. 41 points over the Sydney Swans. Well, they certainly were mighty today at the SCG in pretty warm conditions. A 41-point victory here to the Adelaide Crows on the road. Lost 10 of their last 13 road trips.
Well, they now bring home the bacon here. 18-12, 120 to the Sydney Swans. 11-13, 79 on.
Quite a lot, but I think it's probably just...
Sponsors, Carlton Draft. Toyota 40, oh what a feeling. BP Ultimate, more performance, less pollution. Radio Rentals, South Australia's biggest electrical retailer. Now that's big. And Southern Workout Store, the largest fitness bulk store in SA.
Nothing in football is certain. What lay on the horizon one moment can dramatically change direction without any warning. This time last year, the rising stars from St Kilda were the talk of the